I talk a lot about niching here at Alpha 2.0 when you have an Alpha 2.0 business, to niche your market as narrowly as you possibly can, because you will make much more money much more quickly, even though you're dealing with a smaller market. In this video, I'm going to give you another reason why you should niche and a different spin on this, probably one that you haven't heard of before and one that I have not actually talked about before. I am Caleb Jones, and this is Alpha Male 2.0, freedom-focused lifestyle design for men. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. We do 5 videos a week here on how to make both your business life and your woman life more free, because you need both. We are also doing an online course drawing giveaway right now. This is my online course on how you can create your own Alpha 2.0 business, location independent company. I normally retail that course for $1,400, and you might be able to get it for free. All you need to do is be a subscriber here at YouTube, like this video and leave a comment, and I will announce the winner of the drawing here at the YouTube community feed at this YouTube channel. Okay. When you niche, and I'm not going to go into all the benefits of niching your company right now because I've done that on prior videos. Basically, when you niche more narrowly, you make more money more quickly, you can charge higher prices, you get more repeat business, it's easier to locate your customers will be more enthusiastic about buying from you. You can get from zero to the money much more quickly, far more quickly, if you narrowly niche within an industry, or even niche within a niche called micro niching, which is even better, than if you just sell to everybody in an industry. All the time I get guys who say, I want to sell to the tech industry. That's not a niche. I have a fitness product. I want to sell to the fitness industry. That's not a niche. Narrowly niching within an industry, and ideally within a segment of that industry. Now let me give you yet another benefit that I haven't even talked about, and I'm stupid if I even talk about this. There's a concept in business called profit pools. And a profit pool is a small percentage of a market that represents a disproportionately large size of the sales in that market. So I'll give you several examples. One example is I worked with some business consultants a few years back who had a very large client in the dog food industry. Big national company. I'm not going to give you any company names or people names in this video, by the way, because my content tends to be somewhat controversial sometimes, and I never know who does or does not want my endorsements. But anyway, these guys work at this company, and in the dog food industry, you know this if you're a dog owner, when you go to the dog store and you look at all the dog food products, they segment the products based on the size of the dog, right? So big dogs, giant dogs, medium dogs, small dogs, super small dogs, and little teeny tiny dogs that fit in the palm of your hand, like Pink Firefly's dog. And that's how they segment out the market. These consultants found that if you instead focus on the relationship between the dog owner and the dog, you get an entirely different set of categories. And if you break out these types of dog owners rather than types of dogs, something interesting happens. And they found that there was one category called performance fuelers. And these are active dog owners that take their dogs exercising a lot. So they go hiking, they go running, they go bicycling. These are athletic dog owners that take their dogs with them whenever they exercise. And they found that that was only 7% of the dog industry, of the dog food or dog owner industry, 7%. So that's a niche, but that 7% represented over 26% of all the sales of all dog products. So what this dog company did is they focused and they narrowed their niche to just these performance dog owners. And I don't remember the numbers, something like they almost tripled the size of their company in terms of annual gross within less than a year, I believe. It was ridiculous. They made mountains of money because they focused, not only did they niche, but they focused on a niche that was spending a disproportionate amount of the cash. So when you niche your Alpha 2.0 business, or if you have an existing company, an existing Alpha 2.0 business, and you want to narrow your niche or maybe move into a different niche, you want to start thinking about or doing your own research on who spends the most amount of money in that niche, and pick that niche. Or who spends the most amount of money in a given industry or market segment, or what types of owners or what types of end users tend to spend more money more often than other types of people. Very, very valuable. I'll give you one that's a little closer to home. So many years ago, I met a dating coach, and again, I'm not going to say his name, Great guy. When I was more heavily involved in the pickup artist community, I met this guy, and he was doing standard, typical dating coaching. Taking guys out for a weekend and charging them a few $100, maybe $1,000 at the very most. I think he was charging $800 back then, this a few years ago. Teaching guys to do day game and how to get laid and things like that. He learned from one of his mentors, and I also talked to him about this, although I wasn't the guy who suggested this originally, it was one of his mentors, that he should instead niche. So what he decided to focus his dating business on were older men looking for new wives. Now that's not very Alpha Male 2.0. I would never talk about how to find a wife, certainly not a monogamous wife. But anyway, that's the niche that he focused on. And I believe it was men over 50. It was older men. I don't remember the exact age he used. I want to say it was over 50, but it may not have been. I don't remember. But older guys looking for their next wife, usually divorced older guys. And these were older guys who had more money than the typical guy in his 20s who was looking to get laid, the typical college student or college age guy. So this guy, all he did, he taught the exact same shit. It was pretty much the exact same content. All he did is instead of teaching young guys in their 20s how to get laid, he took that exact same content and put it over older men looking for their next wife or serious girlfriend. And he was making thousands upon thousands of dollars. I think he got his prices up to $15,000 per client at one point. And he filled his calendar with guys paying many, many thousands of dollars per consult instead of a whole bunch of guys paying a few hundred. And this guy made money. He was being flying all over the country. Last time I talked to him was several years ago. He was doing very, very, very well. And all he did, the only change he made was that he niched. And he niched into a profit pool. He niched into an area of people in the market who are spending a disproportionate amount of money. Or, in his case, and this is another way you can think about this, people who have the money. Maybe they're not spending the money, but they have the money. So if you go after a target market or a niche that has more available income to spend, it is obviously more than likely you can charge more money or have more levels of products and services or get more money from that existing niche than you could in a smaller niche. I've talked about before how it's pretty difficult to make a lot of money selling to people who don't have any. It can be done. Ramit Sethi did it. Ramit Sethi, for those of you who don't know, he is this Indian guy who markets personal finance to young millennials and Gen Z, and he was able to make that work. It was a niche. So he niched into a market that didn't have a lot of money. He was able to make that work. So there are exceptions to this rule, but in terms of starting a brand new business from scratch, I would rather you niche on an area of customers or businesses, individuals, B2C, B2B, doesn't matter, who actually have more money to spend. So think about, as you're niching your company, how can you niche into a type of person or type of company that spends more money than the traditional type of customer in that niche, A, and or B, has more money to spend. Very, very important. If you have more questions on this, we talk about niching quite a bit at the SMIC program at joinsmic.com. Definitely look into that if that's something you have interest to you, because niching is a really critical part of your business. In the meantime, you can click here for how to choose the best industry for your business, or click here on how to create international income streams for your business. I will see you soon. Bye.